So the nature aquarium that we set up, we reckon 3 to 4 weeks ago now. Well, it's growing so well, I'd say too well, because it's lost the nature aquarium vibe and now it's got more of a jungle aquarium, which is not what we wanted because the one next to it is supposed to be the jungle vibe. So it needs to trim up, but the light, the RGB, I just can't believe it from Superfish. Look at the pinks on all the top up here. Looks amazing. Now obviously whenever any plant sort of gets closer to light, it will change the tone of it all. But in a light that's got more of a 6,500 Kelvin, it tends to just stay green always, whereas this one, the pinks, well, you can't see it there, but beautiful.
But it needs a trim.
So what I'm going to do is be really brutal as usual and trim it right back down to the curve that it's actually meant to be at. I'm not even sure if I'm going to replant. I normally always replant. I'm going to save the plants, don't get me wrong. I just don't think I'm going to put them back in here because it'll be in exactly the same position again very shortly otherwise. Especially when you trim it now, it'll be 2 nodes. It'll be like twice as much. So yeah, I'm going to hack it all back. So here is the Limnophila trimmings. Absolutely beautiful plants. I'm not going to get rid of them. I just don't want them back in there. So we'll put them in another tank.
Hey!
So we've already got some Limnophila in this in the ecosystem tank. And like I was saying, look, when you've got 6,500 Kelvin lights, which is what these are, stays green. The red RGB, really, mind you, it was closer to the light as well. So probably as that gets closer, it will go more red as well, because the intensity in the other tank is just so much higher. Look at that. They might change colour now, and they probably will go back to being like proper green. But that's fine.
It'll be interesting to see how they change.
Oh, in case anyone's wondering, I've got some plant weights just attached with some ribbon. Just let it fall down. The roots will make their way down as well. All good. Booty.
What's that, 9 months now? This tank?
Oh, this tank? Something like that, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I like to collect the red root floaters, obviously, and I swap them for fish, but it is detrimental to the tank because I have to block out quite a lot of light whilst I'm building up the stock. It's one of those, really. It's beneficial to me, the fish shop, so I keep it going. It's a little bit detrimental to this side of the tank, though. But swings and roundabouts, you know?
That happens in nature, though, doesn't it?
Yes.
Where you get kind of darker patches and then lighter patches. So actually, that's why I particularly like this tank.
I'm surprised there's even plants over here at all at this stage. The crypts will be fine with that level of light. It's just the stems you can see, they're like, no, look, you can literally see the Limnophila at the back struggling for its life. It's like, please. And then literally just out of shot, it's all growing fine. So yeah, a lot of the time people do say that, oh, my plants aren't growing. It's either not enough light or too much. If it's too much, it means you're getting loads of algae in and it's still not getting enough. They look great. They've sort of closed.
Nice.
They've sort of closed up a little bit because of the trim. It's like they've gone to like defense mode, but they'll open out again. So the 8 foot is doing fantastically well overall. Couple of little issues. We've noticed that one of the angelfish, I think it's this one. Could it be? Might not be. One of the biggest angelfish that we've got in here had some little red spikes coming out of its anus. And looking it up, I thought it might have been just a bit of poo from the food, but it was way too dark red, very spiky. And apparently it's called Camallanus worms. So we're going to treat this whole tank because...
Camallanus worms.
Yeah. Or Camallanus. Let me look it up because it's important. Yeah, so it is Camallanus. What a terrible name. Anyway, there is a fear that it's going to spread to the other fish because it really can. So we're going to treat this whole tank. That's a lot of water, it's a lot of treatment, but I've calculated it all correctly. Yeah, going to treat everything, but first of all, just want to scrape down the glass a little bit. There's a little bit of, not too much algae, but there is a bit of algae. Also need to get that plant back in the right place because we think Chunks has like pushed it over there somehow. And probably not on purpose, but there's only a little bit of a plant weight on it. It's quite buoyant with all those big leaves.
Definitely on purpose.
Yeah, look, he's out all the time now. Remember he was being shy and staying back there? He just had like a weird month, didn't he?
Yeah.
But now he's everywhere, looking so healthy. Well, hang on. Maybe this is the one.
Have you got the Camallanus?
Neither of these are the Camallanus.
Okay.
So maybe the Camallanus is hiding somewhere.
It was being a bit hidey yesterday when we were checking its anus. You got to do.
Oh, hang on. 1, 2, 3. So it's one of these. Here it is. It's this one, Steph. You can probably zoom into the Camallanus.
Okay. Gosh, I didn't realise it was this kind of channel.
Right, you have to stay back, but zoom in because otherwise it will go blurry.
Yes, ma'am.
So it's literally near where its fish willy is the anus just behind it.
Okay, there it is.
Can you see it?
A very, very...
So it's slightly red just in front of it.
Yeah.
Or behind it, one or the other. Anyway, but he looks super healthy. Really thick-bodied, thick head. It doesn't look bad for it at all, but...
Just don't want it to take hold, right?
No, exactly. Don't know how long it's been like that. It's the first time we noticed it, wasn't it?
I don't spend much time looking at fish anuses.
Well, the reason we did is because we were trying to work out if we had any females out of the 3 big boys that we got.
Yeah, because of their behaviour, right?
Yeah, they were being quite sort of chasey and nippy. I mean, they always do that around food time anyway. But we found that they didn't have a big egg shooty thing. They had fish willies, and as we were looking at the fish willies, we saw the Camallanus. Yeah. Anyway, let's get this glass cleaned up, get the treatment in, put that plant back, and hopefully, fingers crossed, it doesn't go anywhere else. Right, that's gone really well. Steph scraped the back glass as well, where the background is. It's not really a background, it's just the black glass. Scrape that off. We've never scraped that, have we?
No.
I've never scraped that. So there was a good amount of gunk in there, so there's quite a bit still in the water column. We've got the 2 Fluval FX6s in here. It's going to clear that out in no time. We also topped the water up, moved the plant that was floating into the right section, and now we can add the treatment to make sure that none of them get Camallanus. So I've got the treatment here, and the instructions are 1 ml per litre. So I've got enough here for 900 litres. It's a 1,000 litre tank, but obviously we've got all hardscape, we've got all sand, just taking up a huge percentage of it. So I'm going to just drip this in all the way along. There we go. And it says like the next day you should do a 50% water change. I guess that's because they like push the worms out. You just don't want them hanging about, do you? So I'll do a nice big water change tomorrow on it, which will also help clear a bit of the water. But I think we're covering all bases here. Literally, we've not seen the worms on any other fish, but you know, if there's one, there's probably going to be more. That should cover it. I've also got deworm up for the Discus as well. Again, they're not showing any signs, but I just want to do it as a precaution. Oh, and in this instance, this is one of these things where we did check the instructions. With chemicals, always check the instructions. I know I'll joke about and I chuck away instructions of tech because most of it's not that complicated, let's be honest. But dosages and things of every different like treatment and different company, it's all different. You have to read it, you have to go by it, especially with medicine, because if you get that wrong, it can be really bad. How good are the Discus doing?
Yeah, they're looking great.
Like
this chat as well.
Yes, there's a couple here in there that are just looking prime, aren't they? Like real top genetics, like the panda and the thick ones there.
Big, thick head.
Let me just check the name of that one so we know the type for future reference, because I keep saying that one. Yeah, this fantastic looking specimen here. Blue turquoise. But there's a load of variants. It could be the red tiger turquoise. I think maybe because the way the red is, it's kind of like tiger print. It could be red tiger or it's blue turquoise. Either way, looking fantastic. Head thickness is there. We've definitely got some clear, very good genetic ones and some that aren't great, that might not even continue to grow. Just have to wait and see. But, you know, we're doing everything we can. This has got UV on it. So to add the treatment, the dewormer, I need to turn the UV off, or that kills the treatment as well, apparently. So we'll turn that off. But before we do anything, we can change the water. It's due its weekly water change, so we can change the water down, then up, and then we can add the treatment. It's not a lot of point in putting the treatment in and then taking all the water out.
Although it does say to change water after 24 hours.
Yeah, it does.
So would it be worth doing that tomorrow?
Yeah, maybe we could do 2.
Yeah.
It won't hurt. You know, it'd be like a max. Like if I do 50% now,
Yeah.
put the treatment in so everything's fresh, and do another 50%. I've almost done 100%. Well, obviously not because of the way it all works, but that's kind of like 100% water change over a period, so it's not shocking, you know?
Yeah.
But that'll be like super, super clean water. Feed them first though. There we go, all looking clean. A bit of a mist in the water, that's fine. I have got the worm treatment here. We are good. Like I say, I'm gonna leave that for a day, come back tomorrow and do another 50% water change as instructed. But you know, it's like an insurance policy. Worm them, nothing bad can happen. Doesn't affect them by like doing it when it's not being seen, but it just keeps it preemptive is the word, isn't it, Steph?
That's the word.
Yeah.
Preemptive.
Proactive.
Proactive, not reactive.
That's right, yeah. And then obviously after I do the water change and stuff, I'll put the UV filter back on. All good. Update on the strawberry Rasbora tank. This is taking off again. I went for a period after about a month where it kind of like just stalled. All of the grass in the front sort of melted back. Monte Carlo's always done good. It also went very brown, didn't it, Steph? Yeah. Like one day we're like, what has happened? It hit this weird wall where like the plants just stopped growing and algae started to take over. And I realised it's basically because I wasn't dosing it enough. With this many plants in the small area, it needs more dosing. So I started upping the leaf zone, and as a result, it's taken off because the Rotala hra here had stalled like halfway down the pipe, and now it's up to like the last part of intake where all those
where all the notches are, yeah.
Yeah, so all those snails collect around it. That's just their shells where they've been like sort of sucked in. But yeah, loads of snails in this tank actually. I like that. It's cool.
They've been breeding like no one's business.
Yes. But all the Rasboras, this is the thing. Normally when you get a big school of fish like this, you lose a couple sometimes. It's just, you know, law of averages. But we've not lost a single one of these. Really, really strong genetics. Very happy little fish. Yeah, I love this tank. One of these is just going to leave it, and it'll be a great harvester as well. So at some point I'm going to need to trim stuff back, and then we'll have some gorgeous red plants and different things to use in other tanks. Right, it's now the next day, and as you can see, we've already done another water change on the Discus tank, like the instructions said for the medication, 50% down, 50% back up again, all treated to the right temperature as well. So that is perfect. Now we still need to do a water change on the 8-foot. I have not done a water change in this tank in so long. And you can kind of tell because there's a slight tinting to the water. It's got like more of a yellowy sort of feel. So yeah, we're going to bring this back down again. We've checked the infected angelfish. And which one? This one here. And you can see now, hopefully you can anyway. Hopefully you can see there's like one big dangly worm coming down.
Yeah, got it.
And it did say in the instructions that they wouldn't necessarily just die instantly. It can be over a course of time. And a lot of places recommended you redose again within like a next like week or two after, just to make sure any of the the spawn of it, I guess, like the babies, the eggs, I guess, if they drop out and fall down, they are killed off as well. So because the cycle of it is longer than the medication. So I think I will do that. I think I'll retreat again in like a week or two. I'll look up the exact sort of time everyone's recommending. But yeah, now we need to just whip this one back down again, bring it back up and freshen it up a little bit as well. So yeah, been a while. It's been a while. There we go, freshened right up. I think you did, yeah, you just saw all the pearling that's going on the plants at the moment. Well, they've been exposed to the atmosphere, and then you fill it back up with water, and they start releasing a load of oxygen. But also, if the plant is damaged, as you can see by those echinodorus, when it's damaged, the bubbles literally come out, pure oxygen bubbles come straight out from that stem point. So, yeah, it actually just means it's damaged. It's not like a great thing. It's quite similar. If you do like a mow down of stem plants at the back and do a big trim, all of a sudden it just starts pearling like crazy because you've technically damaged the plant. But it's okay, it's part of the process. Yeah, we don't really need to do anything to this tank now other than that. Oh, Trunks is right out. Hello. When we were doing the water change, he got really upset. He was hiding back in his spot, but now he's come all the way out. Very comfortable. I was worried he was going to stay back there, but nope, straight away out again. Because he had his funny 5 minutes, didn't he? But now he's good.
He good.
Look at the size of him.
All right, big lad.
He is, isn't he?
Whee! Hi.
And Discus tank as well. Looking great, looking nice and fresh. All the fish are doing really well. Like I say, we don't know if there was any issues like internally, but we've covered that now, and they've all been dewormed. So we're over at the Amazon puffer tank. Now this is quite good because yesterday I was cleaning up a different tank and I just left Steph to do it all yourself, didn't I?
You did.
And what a job you've done.
It's very, very cathartic.
Yeah, you liked it, didn't you?
I enjoyed it a lot, actually.
I was like, wait till you've done it 30 times.
Yeah, it's nice just to hack it back.
Well, initially you were being very gentle, weren't you?
I was,
like,
yeah.
you've got to get your hands in and start ripping or you're going to be here all day. But the result you've ended up with is very, very good because you did actually go more harsh than I would have. But that's good because it's now just properly given it a reset, if you like, rather than just to a nice point where it just get bad again.
Yeah. There was a lot of pearlweed.
No, that's Rotala green. But I can see why you say that.
Oh yeah, okay.
So bigger leafed,
yeah.
Doesn't quite grow as invasively as pearlweed.
There was a huge amount of that.
Yep.
Yeah, it was a proper hackback. But it'll be interesting to see how it just rejuvenates over the next couple of weeks.
So what you tend to get after you've chopped off of the stems like you have, there's a couple of weeks of nothing happening whilst it's sort of repairing itself.
Well, that would be a really unfulfilling 2-week wait then, won't it?
Well, no, because it looks good now. Do you know what I mean? This is why I don't like cutting stuff neatly, because how you've done it with the ripping, it still looks natural.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But if you cut stuff like neatly with scissors, you get all these straight edges everywhere, and I think this is way better. But in 2 weeks' time, the new buds will start coming up, and it will look even fresher, and we'll be right back where we were again. But yeah, good job, Stefan. Very impressed. And I thought I'd give you a nice update on this tank here, the Paludarium, 8 foot tall. It's I just released a video a few days, well, no, quite a while ago, about a week ago, and it's looking great. Everything's still working because when you do something different, there's always a wonder if stuff's going to clog up, it's just going to stop running as well, does it need any tweaking? We've not had to do anything different to the video where we just pressed go effectively, fine-tuned a little bit where all of the mist was falling and added some holes, but it's stayed absolutely perfect. Fish seem to absolutely love it as well. The water's got a slight little haze to it, but that'll just be the tank sort of bedding in, but also there's a ton of wood in here, so it's kind of just tannins being released, but they're not like to the point where they're going brown yet. So that if that was more dense, the tannins, it would be more brown, but all the fish get along really, really great. We've added another couple of bristlenose in there as well, which you can't see at the moment, but Really, really pleased with this tank and how it's turned out. My wife came in earlier, she's just seen it properly for the first time. She saw the video obviously, but in person, and she thought it was absolutely amazing. So yeah, maybe I'll do it at home. No, I don't think this one would really work at home. Well, first of all, I haven't got that tall ceiling, so great news is all the plants on the top absolutely thriving. A lot of the mosses are coming back because some of them were a little bit sort of, you know, orangified like this. Well, now there's already green up. This is way more vibrant. That wasn't like that. But also the plants, so the bird's nest fern, this one over here, look at all these brand new leaves. That's a brand new leaf growing out of there. So it's obviously working, the setup that we've got for it. The ivy has got new shoots coming off of it as well. Everything about it is absolutely perfect. Oh, I've just noticed something else as well. Look, there's a little bud coming out. Is that a new leaf? Is that a flower? I think it's a new leaf, isn't it? It's just like,
it's like
pressed in sort of thing.
Yeah.
But all of these ferns as well, like these are getting new leaves coming out of them. Even the ferns. It's great success.
Steamy.
Yeah, hopefully it just keeps doing it. Right, over at Dave's tank here, yesterday, this is one I was working on whilst Steph was working on the puffer tank. Now, all of the grasses that you can see at the back, they were hitting the surface, looping over, and it was so dense. And it was one of those jobs that I was like, I'll get to that. And it was at that moment I was like, I'm never going to get to this unless I just do it. So I got in there. You can't really rip this stuff because it's so tough, so I had to just get in and cut it. So it is a little bit squared off in some areas. And that crypt, the crypt that was at the back here, it was the same as this side, but it was quite algae infested. So I just, because there was literally no flow at all, and it was right under the light, so I just cut it right off and sort of let it regrow back again now, you know, without all the algae. But this whole foreground was just, I didn't film it because it was one of those things where I was like, I just need to crack on with it. But the grassy type stuff that you can see here, which is Alanthium quadrilatus, that was actually covering all of the grass, and I thought the grass had gone. Like, I thought there's no chance, and there's no chance of me pulling it up without the grass coming up. That didn't happen. It just all peeled away really nicely. The grass is still looking great. Yeah, it went a lot better than I thought, because I was kind of at the point where I'm going to try and get it back to how it was. I wasn't expecting it to look quite still as good as it does, you know, even after pretty much destroying it. But it turned out really, really nice.
I was pleasantly surprised.
Yeah,
because
you were deep in thought, weren't you? And I was like, come over and have a look.
Yeah, and it looks great. The grass in the foreground looks so bedded in, like all the root systems down the bottom, and
you can see
great,
here,
like carpeting.
This is where some of it came up at the corners, so it come above the soil, but it will just go back down again because there was no chance of all of this coming up. To get this sort of level of density, you do sort of have to use CO2 though. I haven't got any CO2 running on it anymore. It was just way too fast. So hopefully now that I've turned it off and I'm hacked it back, it just stays nice and steady. The plants might change slightly, but now that the grass is in, that won't change. It's just...
We'll watch it.
Yeah.
All the fish are happy. You've got shrimp on the wood there on the underside. Yeah. And a good old nibble.
Yeah, fish still look great. I think that looks awesome, actually.
Oh. Oops.
It's my new light.
Is that the RGB Superfish super duper light?
Yeah, this is, yeah, so look, I've got two of them ready to go on bigger tanks, and I've got two of them ready to go on smaller tanks as well. So loads of plants down there as well. So yeah, we've got projects coming. So it's not all roses in the hobby, as many of you have experienced already on my channel, but a lot of you will know that I had Congo puppers in this tank, and there was an ongoing battle of sickness with them from the moment I pretty much picked them up from the shop. When I got them, Martin was a little bit like, you know, they keep getting ick, we heal it, you know, it goes away, comes back again, and sadly that's what I kept continuously experiencing with them in this tank. We thought that once we got them into their own tank, you know, less stress of a shop and stuff, it would sort itself out. But over the course of the last 7 months or so, slowly one by one got more sick than the rest and just sort of dropped off. Now I took them out of this tank and they've been in a hospital tank because it's easier to treat. They've had all sorts of medication, tried pretty much everything. And again, the last one that was left was Big Bertha, the big girl. And eventually even she succumbed to the same problem. So yeah, it's kind of put me off those kind of pufferfish. I won't be buying them again. I have heard that you can buy Congo puffers now that are bred in captivity, which will be a lot more sort of, I guess, more bulletproof in a way, but they're extremely expensive if you can even get hold of them. So yeah, like I tried absolute best over the whole time. It just wasn't to be. But it does mean that we can do something else in the tank because it's just kind of, well, it's almost empty. There's one fish in here in particular that I didn't put in here and has actually grown from an absolute tiny baby. It's a barb from the barbs that are in the tank opposite that got put in with some floating plants and now it's grown up. Obviously we've got a bristle nose and things like that as well. But yeah, whenever something like this happens and the tank's empty, I'm very keen to get it changed straight away. It's not nice to be reminded of like something that didn't work or some particular fish that didn't do well, but it can happen in a hobby. And I know I did everything I could, put it that way. Right, we've got successful news. We have managed to treat and, from what I can see anyway, get rid of the Camallanus worms. So I'm not seeing it on any of the fish. I mean, we were only seeing it on the one anyway, but not showing any signs of it now. So that is great. I think I'm going to continue the course again, like in a week's time, just to make sure that any of the eggs, I think it is, or young, I'm not entirely sure how it works, but it says just to repeat the process, just to ensure that everything's gone. So I'll be doing that. But yeah, it's nice to have like a solid end to it. And, you know, from what I can tell, it's treated. So that's good. The Discus are also looking great. I mean, they were anyway, but it's nice to know that that's covered. But we've got other projects going on at the moment, like quite big ones coming. So look forward to being able to show you that. We've got some really nice stuff that I think you're going to enjoy. So hopefully see you soon, subscribe and all that stuff. I'll see you on the next one.